Hello YouTube, this is Don Freeman doing this video for the big homie Fred. He wanted me to put something out there, put it on the internet. And so I wanted to talk to everybody about stock market, investing, trying to get black wealth and get people putting more of their futures into the forefront of their life. And so one thing I wanted to talk about was some of the books that I try to read. I've read a whole bunch of different books, but one of the best series are the Investing for Dummies, or you know any type of stocks or exchange traded funds for dummies. These are some of the types of books that people will probably shy away from because they're looking at it as, well, I'm not a dummy. I should know this stuff, but really it's a series that's telling people that anybody can learn this stuff. And so I wanted to talk about how I got started in investing in the stock market. I was at work, working for a place called Airtrim in Springfield, Ohio. And my supervisor, very, very smart VP of our sales department, he wanted to see where I was at. And I said, yeah, I would like to invest in stocks. I just didn't think, I wanted to get into investing with any type of company that's going to charge me $8 a trade, or, how it used to be in the 2000s. So what I did is I kind of looked around, and then he came back to me the next day and he said, well, the reason I asked you about that is because of he's on Robinhood. And I said, oh, okay, I think I've heard something about that. Well, Robinhood is one of the many brokerages out there where it makes it easy to go ahead and start investing with little or no money. But basically, if someone has a Robinhood account, and then they send you a link, and then you attach your bank account to that link and start trading, then that person gets a free stock and you get a free stock, which, that's a great deal. I thought, hey, free money is free money. But the best thing about it is the trading is almost free, pretty much. There's things that Robinhood does to generate money through the trading that you do, but it probably doesn't really affect a person that much, I would say. For instance, when you're trading, you want to be mindful of how you're trading on Robinhood. Robinhood gives you trading tools. For instance, if you just put in for a buy or sell on the market, people are always trading, and so there's underlying ask and buys bids for your trades. And so your trade, you might ask for a trade at $7, but because of what the market is asking for, your trade might not even go through until, a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on, what the market's asking for. And then when it goes through and you look at your account, you're saying, oh, I wanted this price, but I got that price. And so that's one thing to be mindful about. But they have many tools on there to where you could go ahead and put in a limit buy, or you could put in some type of trade to where when you trail to a certain percentage and the market starts reversing, going down, and then it hits that percentage, and then it'll kick you out, and that's a good way to help preserve some of your income. So that's one of the big things you need to look out for when you're trading. But besides that, people are online all the time. There's many YouTubers who talk about, what's the best way to trade. There's many ways to trade. You can trade for growth. You can trade for dividends, or you could trade using options, which, when you're doing it right, gives you a very good premium. Uh, Robinhood also allows you to lend your stocks. So, if you're in certain stocks where you're not worried about any type of, I would say like a dividend coming up, Well, you can lend your stock out and let somebody else, you know, use the stock, and then you get a premium for that yourself. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk about in that, but I wanted to let people know that you should get your feet wet. I've been telling a lot of my friends and here in Springfield, Ohio, and in Dayton, and trying to get guys to see where they're at. And a lot of my friends are already doing it. Um, I've got a lot of friends when I was in college who, they understand the deal. They've read some of the good books. Um, you got Robert Kiyosaki and all these guys, Tony Robbins, and so they're following it. But there's a lot of guys out there who are not following and not looking about, looking to their future and getting their money in order. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about with this video is, what are some of the things black people need to do, to kind of get their life in order and kind of catch up. One of the things you need to do is, look at, what money and budget you got coming in, because that's one of the things that's going to kind of affect you. If you're not keeping track of your budget, then, you're not going to know where you're at. A lot of people are living check to check. A lot of people are, getting a paycheck, every 2 weeks. Maybe it's weekly, maybe it's by the month. And, it's easy to say, okay, I can pay for my car note, I can pay for my rent or my mortgage. I can pay for, all of my food during the week and other things. If you have children, you know, I'm paying for all that stuff, and I got money left over. And then what are you doing with it? Well, a lot of people are banking it, but banking, doesn't really give you any type of return on your money. And that's what a lot of the books that we're reading here is, telling you is that you need to have some type of secondary investment, besides the time that you put in at your job. Your job is going to pay you a set amount. You may get raises, by the years, but that's not going to help you when it comes to your future. Um, Investing in the stock market is a good way to up the return on your money. Certainly there's risk. Everybody would say, we're not here to give you any advice on what to invest your money into. Everything has risk to it. Markets go up and down all the time. Real estate markets, can go up and down. Um, you know, what businesses go through are cyclical, where, one year you're selling all your items and everything's flying off the shelf. Then the next year everything's slow, and it's like, okay, did I have a lot of money built up in my business account? Am I going to have to use debt and leverage myself? So those are some things that you want to look out for and say, I need to get started now, because time is the biggest thing you have on your side, is to, get started now. I started 2 years ago on Robinhood, and I also have a Webull account. And I found that, if you don't have a lot of time to follow the market, investing in dividend stocks is a good way to go. I have a lot of stocks, individual stocks that pay a nice dividend. A lot of the guys online would say you want to watch out for anything that's high yielding. Anything yielding higher than around 4 or 5%, you should keep an eye out for. Now, personally, I have stocks that yield higher than that. And there's a lot of stocks, for instance, in the business to business lending and in investing and in the real estate REITs, which are stocks that, you know, dabble in real estate. And then in these situations, they are, by law, they have to pay about 90% of their profits back to their investors. So a lot of those will have higher yields, around maybe I would say 8, 9, 10%. There's a lot of them with the market the way it is today, and because there's been a lot of pullback, their yield has been going up a lot higher. So you'll see some stocks that are in the 13, 15% yield, and that's because of the pullback in the market. So there's a lot of things that you have to think about, and that's one of the reasons I would say, you need to read a book, certain books, something like this, talking about your exchange traded funds, you know, investing in dividends. You want to kind of keep an eye out on what are some of the pros and cons about those things. Um, More of my stocks are exchange traded funds. Um, my first exchange traded fund I got into was SDVI. It's a very high yielding fund, but it also has exposure to United States stocks and also foreign stocks, and so it's a very volatile ETF. But you know, you got to know how you're looking to invest. I was in it and out of it periodically. Sometimes taking my money and putting it into other funds. Um, One of the other funds that I found was very good, and this is a fund that does some of the options trading for you, and that is Divo, DIVO, and that's a stock that it does cover calls on I think the SPY, the S&P 500, and basically, instead of you spending your time, putting in an option play, and then it may be out, for the week, and then you got to periodically look and say, okay, when is my time to pounce, and make my premium, or will I make my premium, or is it just, a failed stock and a failed option, and just let it go by the wayside. With Devo, you don't have to worry about that. They're doing that for you, and in the long run, Devo has really nice growth, but it also, makes a steady income for you. And that's one thing that I'm looking for out of investing is having another income. You know, uh, a lot of people have, their side hustles. I have one. I spent many years after college. Uh, I worked for the college, Wright State University, for a while, but then, at the end of the Bush years, I found myself unemployed, and so I picked up my side hustle of doing lawn service, and had a lot of my church members, a lot of my dad's friends wanted me to work for them, and which was good money. But then when I picked up another job, that side hustle turned into uh, kind of like it was more of a hassle to try to have a full-time job and then service all my customers for my lawn service. And so there's nothing bad about that. I mean, you got to look at what works out for you. You know, is it going to be something that you can juggle? Do you have the time? Most people, you have a family, they don't have time for that. And so you mostly need to look at what do you have the time for. And stocks gives you a way of having an investment that's kind of passive, and that's what most people are looking for is a passive way of having some type of income to supplement what they do at their job. That's one of the things that is very important for everybody in this day and age. And I'm not talking about just black people or minorities. I'm talking about everybody. They need to start thinking about having a secondary investments because the way the world's going now, I don't have to tell you, the cost of goods are going up, the cost of energy is going up, the cost of living in general is going up, and so you have to find a way to cover that. So I'm not going to hold you up too long. I just wanted to make a quick video and have something out there because, like I said, this one's for Big Fred, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. If you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.